Very good morning to one and all. Welcome to the 4th annual conference of Society for Cost-Effective Use of Technology in E-Healthcare, SUTEC 2016.
As we start the program, I welcome our honorable dignitaries to the dais.
I welcome our Chief Guest Srimati Anupriya Patel, Honorable Minister of State and the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, Government of India.
Guest of honor, Mr. Divakar Vaish, Head of Robotics and Research at ACID Training and Research Institute.
Shri V. Srinivas, DDA AIMS.
Mr. Jitendra Arora, Director E-Governance, E-Health and Telemedicine.
Dr. Deepak Agrawal, Chairman Computerization AIMS.
Dr. Sanjeev Boy, Additional MS, JPNATC AIMS.
We welcome our Chief Guest, Srimati Anupriya Patel, Honorable Minister of State and the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, Government of India. We welcome you, ma'am, to the inaugural function.
Our guest of honor, Mr. Divakar Vaish, Head of Robotics and Research at ACID Training and Research Institute. Welcome, sir.
We welcome Shri V. Srinivas, DDA AIMS. We welcome you, sir.
Mr. Jitendra Arora, Director E-Governance, E-Health and Telemedicine. Welcome, sir.
Dr. Deepak Agrawal, Chairman Computerization AIMS, Additional Professor AIMS and Organizing Secretary of SUTEC 2016.
Dr. Sanjeev Boy, Additional MS, JPNATC and Co-Organizing Secretary, SUTEC 2016. Welcome, sir.
SUTEC 2016 will showcase the e-healthcare platform for India, the future of digital healthcare in India. It's the only national conference that brings together the entire digital health ecosystem under one roof. SUTEC 2016 is a driver of collaboration and innovation.
Asato ma sadgamaya, tamaso ma jyotirgamaya, mrityo ma amritam gamaya.
Which means, from ignorance lead me to the truth, from darkness lead me to light, from death lead me to immortality.
Cherishing these words from the Upanishad, we'll start our function with our auspicious lamp lighting ceremony.
I invite all the dignitaries to light the lamp and inaugurate this function.
Thank you all. I invite Dr. Deepak Agarwal, Chairman Computerization Committee AIMS and Organizing Secretary of SUTEC 2016 for the welcome address. Sir, please.
Honorable Minister of State for Health and Family Welfare, Madam Anupriya, our robotics head, Shri Divakar Vaish, and Shri Ditendra Arora, who's the Director E-Health Governance Program at the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, respected DDS sir, and my colleague Dr. Bhoi, as well as all delegates and speakers and faculty. I welcome you all to this 6th edition of the SUTEC, Cost-Effective Use of Technology in E-Healthcare, which we are holding this year. It has been a long journey, and I am very grateful for Madam to grace this occasion and take out time from a busy schedule. Madam, we wanted to show you whatever we have done in IT in terms of computerizing a government hospital, and AIIMS is no different when it comes to the people in terms of being a government hospital. And so it was a huge challenge for us to actually implement IT in this hospital. And not just IT, IT is just a buzzword. Actually, what we are doing is changing the processes and aligning them with the global best practices, so that finally our aim is to improve patient care. And I'm sure over the last 3 years since Dr. Mishra took over as director of AIIMS, there has been tremendous improvement in quality parameters, in patient satisfaction, and in the patient outcomes. So all this has to be measured, documented, and shown across, and this is where IT comes into the picture. Secondly, this conference is not just about IT, but we also showcase various technologies which are cost effective, which have been used, like a mobile CT scanner, disposable ventilator, which some of you may never have heard also. So these technologies can be very useful in resource-starved countries like ours, where we don't have to blindly follow the best, but make our own inventions, innovations, which actually fit into our environment. So coming back to IT, it has been a very long and a very successful journey. I am very proud to say that AIIMS is the most IT-enabled public sector hospital in India, and maybe in this Southeast Asian. So we are very, very proud about it. And it has happened only because of the members of AIIMS, all the doctors, the nurses, the technicians, and all the staff. And I would like to end by saying that it is the attitude change which has helped us to implement it. नज़र हटाने से नजराना नहीं बदलता, नजरिया बदलने से नजराना बदलता है. So I think we have all worked towards it and changed the attitude to improve what we want to see. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. I invite Shri Jitendra Arora, Director E-Governance, E-Health and Telemedicine, to address the gathering.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Honorable Minister of State, Health and Family Welfare, distinguished guests on the dais, dear students, participants from central government hospitals, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me a great pleasure to participate in this event which AIIMS has organized today, the conference on cost-effective use of technology in e-healthcare delivery. As the theme is of e-health, I would like to inform about the various initiatives taken by Ministry of Health and Family Welfare in the IT field. Ministry is promoting e-health, that is use of information and communication technology in the healthcare delivery for betterment of citizens, empowerment through information dissemination, and to bring about significant improvement in the public care health facilities. The Digital India program started by Government of India envisages 4 components in healthcare. That 4 components are online medical consultation, online medical records, online medical delivery and supply, and pan-India exchange of electronic health record of patients. A number of online services have been started by Ministry of Health and Family Welfare in different hospitals and organizations. And that one include is online registration system started in AIIMS, and another is Sugam, in which online application for drug import licenses and directory services of hospitals have also been launched recently. Several mobile apps have also been launched recently through National Health Portal of India. Under the Digital India program, Ministry has envisaged creation of electronic health record of patients that can be interoperable across all over country. To set up the envisaged EHR standard, to set up this system, one of the key requirement is implementation of hospital information system in all the hospitals which are compliant to EHR standards. So Ministry has first notified the EHR standard in September 2013. These standards include SNOMED City standards, which provide a consistent terminology across the healthcare domains. This allows the clinicians to communicate effectively and accurately across clinical domains and over the lifetime of a patient record. Ministry is also working towards setting up an integrated health information platform for interoperability among different IT systems being created in different hospitals and pan-India exchange of electronic health record of patients. This IHIP will facilitate the continuity of care, confidential and secure data exchange management, better affordability, optimal information exchange to support better health outcomes. Healthcare data is individual, personal and private. At the same time, therefore, Ministry is quite valuable to other organizations and stakeholders. In order to enable healthcare system to gain the full benefit of shareable, accessible and protected EHR, the need for development of appropriate legal framework for sharing information is very critical. Since currently there is no specific legislation in place, especially catering to the health, data privacy and security aspects, Ministry is working for drafting a legislation for electronic health data privacy and security. E-death note is being introduced with the vision of maintaining a digital death record with an uniform format across all hospitals. Integration of SNOMED City to e-health note is collaboration with CDEC Pune is a small but a significant initiative towards achieving interoperability in electronic health record system. However, in the time to come, many such initiatives will be taken up by AIIMS, and I would like to request other central government hospitals and autonomous institutes under Ministry of Health to collaborate with AIIMS in developing more such type of modules. I must congratulate Dr. Deepak and CDEC team to devise the e-death note integrated with SNOMED City in a very short span of time. I am sure that this conference will be a good platform for a fruitful discussion and knowledge sharing on cost-effective e-health initiative. And I wish all the participants a very great learning from this conference. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I invite Shri V. Srinivas, DDA AIIMS, to address the gathering. Sir, please.
Honorable Minister of State for Health and Family Welfare, Madam Anupriya Patel ji, my distinguished colleagues, Dr. Deepak Agarwal, Dr. Sanjeev Bhoi, Mr. Dibakar Vaish, Mr. Jitendra Arora, distinguished audience. Today I'll share with you the enormous success story of what AIIMS has achieved in the last 2 years in terms of cost-effective technologies in e-healthcare. My mind goes back to the 5th conference when at this very forum we had the online registration system that was presented by the then Secretary IT, Mr. Ramsevak Sharma. And from there to AIIMS becoming the first fully digital hospital of India on July 19, 2016 has been an enormous journey. And I'll share with you what all we have done in bringing it to this length and to make this hospital comparable with some of the best hospitals of the world in terms of digital platforms. And it hasn't been an easy journey, and it's taken thousands of people, a lot of man hours and huge amount of dedication and commitment to reach this stage. In December 2014, when I joined AIIMS, I received a note which said that as I was formulating priorities for this particular position, I received a note saying that one of the big tasks would be to streamline the OPD processes. The note merely said, "Save the Titanic." That was the kind of effort that was required to bring streamlining into the online registration systems and into the OPD systems. And I and Dr. Deepak Agarwal went to meet the Chairman, Unique Identification Authority of India in January 2015, merely with photographs of about 35 lakh patients coming to AIIMS, lines standing at 3 o'clock in the morning, and the minute gates were thrown open, there would be massive crowding into every registration counter that was opened. From there, by the time in about 3 months' time, when TCS came to us with some kind of process business re-engineering models, we had traversed a journey where the unique identification numbers could be generated on an Aadhaar platform. And on the 4th of July 2015, the Honorable Prime Minister, as part of the Digital India Week, had launched the online registration system. And today, when you see any hospital's website, the first thing I notice is that there is an ORS portal linkage that has been provided wherein patients can book online. The collaboration with the Tata Consultancy Services had provided several new approaches towards handling the outpatient department, and which led to creation of a patient registration center, additional seating spaces, exit OPDs, back-ended computerization with every laboratory being linked. And AIIMS is not simply an ordinary hospital. Can you imagine the magnitude of work that is done? 15,000 patients coming in every morning, 170 laboratory services that are operational, 170 odd operation theaters that are functional at any point. The quantum of back-ended computerization that is required to keep a hospital of this size going is quite enormous. And I think I must place on record my appreciation for the sheer amount of hard work that Dr. Deepak Agarwal has done, along with his team of national informatics assistants, nursing informatics assistants who were created, the team of data entry operators that were created, massive number of security personnel, the system streamlining processes that happened. Every morning at 7:30, we would all sit together in the Dr. Ramalingaswamy boardroom to identify what would be the approach that would be required to take these initiatives forward. And it was not easy to convince such a large volume of faculty to go forward and adopt the new practices. From there, by December 2015, when the Honorable Health Minister and the Minister of State for Power launched the AIIMS transformation project, we noticed that the average wait time for a patient coming to AIIMS in OPD had come down by almost 5 hours. We also noticed that there was a lot of streamlining in terms of follow-up appointments, and almost the 4,500 odd patients who are coming into AIIMS could come to AIIMS in a more streamlined manner rather than wait and loiter around arbitrarily. So today, we don't have any crowds waiting outside the gates of AIIMS at 3 o'clock in the morning. The patient registration center opens at 8:30 in the morning, and by 10 o'clock, every patient is there at the consultation room. In terms of business process re-engineering, what we also notice is that the exit OPDs has been quite a revelation, and the entire patient records in terms of laboratory records are available online once the patient is entered into the system through a unique health identification number. We had suggested to the Ministry of Health that this UHID could be rolled out as a pan-India number. I think they're working on it. There's some legal parameters that are required to take this forward. However, the development of the unique health identification number in AIIMS as an intelligent number which provides the entire background of a patient record has been quite a revelation. innovation. And at the drop of a button, a person sitting in New York City can get an appointment with any consultation in AIIMS. Or I've seen people coming from various states, considering that almost 45% of our patients come from other states of Punjab, Haryana, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, and Bihar. So a number of outside patients can easily get access through the online registration system. From December 2015 to July 2016 was the next landmark day we had, wherein which the entire e-hospital project was fully implemented. And all the 10 modules of the e-hospital project, which are currently going to be placed on cloud for all other hospitals to adopt, have been presented in as part of the technology innovations for this particular conference. And these include the billing module. We did have one of our former health secretaries, Mr. P.K. Hota, who stood a number of hours trying to get discharged. And he said it takes a whole of a lot of time to actually get the billing process completed. So today we have the self-service kiosks which are available everywhere, where you can use net banking and get yourself discharged immediately. Similarly, there is the online donations, where every patient who is in need of a donation and or an outsider who is willing to support the institute can adopt a patient and make an online donation. We also have created for our internal consumption laundry modules, as also dietary modules, wherein diet sheets for various patients are being internally generated on an electronic platform. The completion of the e-hospital project and conversion of the institute into India's first fully digital hospital has been a landmark step. The Cabinet Secretary was here on July 19th, and he in his address mentioned and asked us to handhold the other AIIMS-like institutions, as also the 12 central government hospitals. So AIIMS has taken forward this initiative and conducted 2 onboarding workshops for all central government hospitals, and we are now taking it forward to other AIIMS-like institutions on the 14th of this month. So it's been a long journey. A patient-friendly hospital has been created in AIIMS, and I do recall getting a note after the July that the Titanic is saved. So it seemed like a huge amount of journey has gone through. And the number of man hours, we created over 1,000 staff for this purpose. We have now a specific cadre of nursing informatics specialists that is fully trained in terms of handling the e-hospital project. We also have a very large number of patient care coordinators who have been set up through our CSR collaborators, that is the Tata Consultancy Services. And the number of counters where registrations go on has increased to almost 54. So the registration happens within a period of about 90 minutes, and almost 15,000 people are registered almost extremely rapidly. And I've seen, in fact, several senior colleagues, former Commerce Secretary of India, Mr. Rahul Khullar, who went through the entire process in about 40 minutes time on a wheelchair. And there are enhanced signages that are available all over the All India Institute. And these are all cost-effective technologies. The cost-effective technology, when you consider that an average patient's wait time has come down by 5 hours, it has also freed up the clinician's time significantly, in that they know 9 o'clock the OPD starts, it's almost over by 1:30. So huge amount of clinician's time has been freed up. So the implementation of the e-hospital project in a coherent and in a coordinated manner has brought about a significant change in the AIIMS project. And I think you're here for next 3 days. You please take time out and go and visit the patient registration center and the waiting halls, as also the exit OPD counters. You can see some of the back-end computerization, where radiology images can be accessed almost on 1,000-odd terminals that are available in AIIMS. So it is a significant step forward. And I think when you go back, some of these steps can perhaps be replicated in the hospitals where you're working in. So once again, let me extend a very warm welcome to you, madam, and congratulate Dr. Deepak and his team of very dedicated colleagues who have put together this show. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. It's my immense pleasure to invite our guest of honor, Shri Divakar Vaish, Head of Robotics and Research at ACID Training and Research Institute, to address the gathering. Sir, please.
Good morning, everyone, and good morning, all the distinguished guests. Today, we stand here at the best medical institute in all across India. You are one of the best minds that are going to change how healthcare looks and how healthcare performs in all across India. But we also stand in the verge when something new happens in terms of healthcare. When robotics is on verge of coming down to our homes and in our hospitals. We have already seen a lot of technologies that are making things much more easier, much more precise, and much more faster in terms of preventive and the active healthcare system. 1928 was the year when penicillin was discovered, and it was game-changing. It was something that the world treated as a complete change in the healthcare technology. And right now, we are about to witness something of the same magnitude. Robotics can be completely revolutionary. It won't just be evolutionary, but it would be revolutionary in the field of biotechnology and medical sciences, where we can have preventive healthcare before actually the medical symptoms are about to happen. We can actually sense and understand what the major risk can be. We have a device in our pocket, which is called a mobile, a smartphone, which can take so much of data that you can actually take out what could be your risk of any certain diseases, just by passive means. Today, we all have our automobiles, we all have cars and bikes at our homes, and we get them serviced after every 6 or 1 year. But the same is not happening with our human bodies. No one takes out time to go to a doctor or get a health checkup after every 6 or 1 year, just like we do for our cars and our general electronic devices. But we need to understand of how we can take it to the normal public so that we can actually diagnose the things way earlier and way faster. And that would definitely lead to better healthcare system. When we talk about robotics is something that can be outside, but also inside your body. Think about doing an endoscopy just by swallowing a tablet, maybe this big. Or even biopsies, just by taking a small capsule. And it can actually take out any piece of cell tissues from your body without any kind of invasive techniques. How fast and how accurate the results might be. There can be a doctor sitting at home, wearing pajamas, and doing a surgery at any corner of the world. Where the incisions in the normal surgery can be way larger. With robotic surgeries, we can do it in a much more smaller and a much more faster way. Why is it important? Pajamas are not important. What is important is that a doctor could perform way more surgeries and could actually reach out to way more people. We are humans. Even doctors are humans, obviously. And that's why we actually want to be in our comfort zone, most of us at least. And going to some parts of the country is way more harder for us, for the doctors or the engineers, anyone. But the robots could be present, which could actually diagnose or do the surgery remotely. And that will completely transform the systems. We do have such systems. You might have heard about some French robots or the German robots that are doing some sort of this activity. But it's time that we develop these things here in India. So the last weekend, I was in IIT Guwahati, and I was actually revealing world's cheapest prosthetic hand, which we are making right now, and I was also revealing the world's first mind-controlled wheelchair, which we actually developed. So when I was revealing the prosthetic hand, a person, he wrote on my mail, and as far as I could remember, he said, "Sir, I know almost all the mechanics and all the electronics that are going inside your prosthetic hand. And I'm glad that you have made it so cheaper. I have a friend of mine who is amputated below elbow. I've always tried to do something for him. Unfortunately, despite having all the expertise in technological domain, I don't have access to the medical domain. Neither could I get over here in IIT. So what we could actually sense over here is that we all have technologies, but we have gaps. We have made walls between technology and healthcare sector. We need to fuse them. We need you to tell us roboticists of what can be done, what you expect from us, and share your technical expertise so that we can make systems that are designed according to your needs. And that would completely begin a revolution. AIIMS is considered one of the best institutions in all across the world. And so are the IITs. Today, I have a privilege of speaking over here. And I sincerely request you that if you have any ideas of how robotics can change the world, we can definitely take it forward and make it a reality. Anything and everything is possible. 1.5 years back, we started working on the world's first mind-controlled wheelchair. That is a wheelchair for completely full body paralysis patients in which they can control the wheelchair just by thinking. You don't have to press any button, you don't have to give any commands, you just think and the wheelchair actually does everything for you. And this was launched in March 2016. If I would have told anyone, or any technological expert would have told anyone that this kind of technology has to be made, someone might have actually declared me insane for doing such things. We also made the world's cheapest prosthetic hand, which is only costing in thousands of rupees rather than lakhs of rupees, and that is a complete robotic limb in which all the fingers are actually moving according to the user's specifications. So in the course of another 3 days that we have, we'll be revealing some of the technologies over here as well. The most important thing right now is to design things and to make things a reality. Having ideas doesn't make us special. Everyone has one. What makes us special is to make that idea into reality. And that's what we are here for. To communicate an idea which is there in my mind, I want to transfer down to you. And the ideas which are there in your mind can be transferred down to my mind. And with these transfer of ideas, we can brainstorm things that are way more better than what we would have independently done. So my dear friends, it is a great platform and it is a great event to share what we have inside us and to make something that is useful for the nation and the human mankind. So I would like to thank you for being over here, and I would like to thank you for all the distinguished guests to spare all the time and discuss the most important issue of making healthcare more accessible for everyone, for 125 crore people, especially here in India. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you, sir, for your enlightening words. Now I invite Dr. Deepak Agarwal, Chairman Computerization AIIMS, for the demonstration on SNOMED CT integrated e-death node.
Today is a red letter day for us because we are going to be showcasing our SNOMED City integrated e-death note. And Madam, this SNOMED City was bought by the Ministry of Health, Government of India around a year back. The license, which is valid for use by any hospital all over India. However, in spite of spending a lot of money for buying this license, we have not been able to deploy it across any major hospital because of lack of use by the end users. And it is a very, very good dictionary or a vocabulary for standardizing medical terms through the patient journey across his stay or across his entire life in the hospital. And this is the first time we have been able to do it. We have created a National Death Registry of India, of which right now there are a few hospitals. And this has been created totally in-house along with the help of CDAC, Pune. And what we do in this is, previously all death notes in India, the cause of death was written as cardiorespiratory arrest. So the cause of death is written as cardiorespiratory arrest, and this is absolutely wrong. Everybody has to die of cardiorespiratory, but we need what is the actual cause why the person died. And so this has been integrated with that vocabulary, where you can accurately get that data which is currently not present in India. And I think this will go a long way in addressing the need for assessing patients to find out what was the reason why we are having all the disease burden and what are they actually dying of. And I'll just end it here. What we have created, it is right now for Delhi, according to the Delhi legal system. The death certificate also comes out in the way mandated by the Delhi government. And we have, for various hospitals we have created, but we are doing it at the national level, so it can be done nationally across all regions of India. And I would request Madam to actually inaugurate this using the mouse, so that we can have it thrown open for public use in India.
Thank you, sir. Now I welcome our Chief Guest, Srimati Anupriya Patel, Honorable Minister of State in the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, Government of India, for the inaugural address. Ma'am.
Did you just remove this? I need to put papers or put in this stuff. Dignitaries on the dais, Mr. V. Srinivas, Deputy Director, Administration, AIIMS, Dr. Diwakar Vaish, Head of Robotics, ACET, Mr. Jitendra Arora, Director, E-Governance, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, Dr. Deepak Agrawal, Chairman, Computerization Committee, AIIMS, and Chairman, Organizing Committee, SUTEC 2016, and Dr. Sanjeev Boi, Additional MS Trauma Center, learned audience, distinguished guests, and friends from the media. I am indeed extremely delighted to be here on the occasion of the 6th International CME on cost-effective use of technology in e-healthcare, the SUTEC 2016, and to inaugurate the Digital India program, which will be preparing India for the knowledge-based transformation and delivering good governance to citizens. This program ensures that the government services are made available to citizens electronically by improving the online infrastructure and by increasing internet connectivity, or by making the country digitally empowered in the field of technology, and which is what exactly AIIMS is doing. The major services available in AIIMS include the online appointment system, the computerized patient record system, the SNOMED integrated death note, which we just saw, the e-duty roster integrated with the biometric punching, the online donation program for patients, and mobile app for booking appointments and viewing the lab reports, etc. Let me first talk about the appointment system, the introduction of which gives me great satisfaction. I have heard virtually all the speakers and they have expressed in detail, and as I've learned about this wonderful initiative, in order to improve the transparency and accountability in the functioning of the public sector healthcare institutions and to empower the public by making the appointment system more accessible and transparent, an ecosystem was developed for taking appointments for all clinical departments at AIIMS, which primarily involved an online web-based system, patient portal ORS, but also an integrated IVRS mobile app and a call center acting as a human middleware. The online registration system is a cloud and mobile-based portal for patients to book appointments, view lab reports, check blood availability, and make online payments in Hindi and English. What could be more convenient for the patients than this? ORS portal facilitates patients to take online appointments with various departments of any hospital by authenticating using Aadhaar number, and in case they do not have an Aadhaar number, then using their mobile numbers. And I think it is extremely convenient for patients living in any part of the country, because if we go to few years back, we didn't have this kind of a system. So getting an appointment at AIIMS was really a big challenge. So I really admire the efforts that the AIIMS has taken to introduce this kind of a system, which is making our lives very easy. And the best part of it is that there's an element of uniqueness in the system. I feel glad to point out that there's currently no structured appointment system in any public sector hospital anywhere in India. AIIMS Delhi has more than 200 OPDs and clinics running daily, visited by more than 10,000 patients every day. Therefore, having an online appointment system made sense. As patients from all socio-economic strata visit AIIMS, it was an imperative that we cater to all of them satisfactorily. The system is designed similar to the Indian Railway reservation system, so that poorest people as well as the internet-savvy citizens can take appointments with equal ease. While I was coming for this event, I had in my mind concerns about the poor, less educated, or illiterate rural patients who come here. And I was also worried about how do our senior elderly citizens who do not have caretakers in the family, how do they make use of these facilities? And I shared my concerns with Mr. V. Srinivas, and I'm happy that he's told me that there are about 200 patient care coordinators who are taking of this rural, less educated or illiterate poor people and the senior citizens. But I also hope that you are taking feedback from this section of the patients about the services that the patient care coordinators are offering, so that it enables you to make it more efficient, more easy, more convenient for this section of our society. And it's great that we've also made an effort to understand the impact that this new system has created, which has been transformational for AIIMS, as I understand, and for the healthcare in general. Patients can take appointments now from the comfort of their home and get authenticated with Aadhaar. They can also print their e-OPD cards and come through a fast-track process device for this purpose. People coming from different states and far-off places can plan their journey depending on the appointments obtained. And all of this is incredibly encouraging. This project was truly appreciated by the Honorable Prime Minister's office as well, and included in the projects for Pan-India implementation under Digital India Initiative. So this exactly was what I was inquiring from V. Srinivas ji, that have the other AIIMS across the country implemented this, or is it only AIIMS Delhi which is taking the lead? So the others are also following your footprints. That's a good news. And as I understand, another important aspect of the development reform apart from the appointment system has been the use of cost-effective latest technology like the mobile CT in ED. Rapid advances in CT technology have led to the development of transportable CT scanners. Development of mobile CT equipments has allowed the CT imaging to be performed at the bedside for patients who are very critical. Portable CT scanning can be both economically and clinically beneficial and fast too. Portable CT technology proved useful in the emergency department for evaluating patients suspected of stroke or head trauma, because decreasing the time it takes to obtain imaging improves the prognosis in these patients. Considering the clinical benefit, physicians can obviate the risk associated with the intra-hospital transport in situations in which portable CT is available for a patient in critical care. These risks are numerous and include the compromise of monitoring equipments, intravenous lines, and intubation tubes. Portable CT scanning also reduces the amount of time it takes before imaging results are available by eliminating the transport time for a patient. Let me also take this opportunity to highlight the relevance of creating registries, which the other speakers have also talked about. The online record system helped the health system establish a patient-focused environment that improves efficiency and promotes better communication and collaboration throughout an organization. Registries play a major role in better management of records, thereby enhancing the services that are being rendered to patients. It adds on to the better workflow of the institution. The benefits of the registries are endless, and some of the key benefits that they offer are easy access to records, the records being cost-effective, and thereby there is minimal wastage of resources, and the data are easily retrievable. Computerization of the patient records being another important achievement which should not be left out in my address. It is an essential requirement in the digital era, which has made it easy to access the patient's records from anywhere. It will avoid the duplication of work. In future, there is a possibility of a unique health identification number, making it feasible to maintain a single health record, which will really be a revolution in the healthcare sector. AIIMS initiatives like CPRS, e-hospital, and the SNOBIT, which we just saw, integrated death note and other patient records for easy data maintenance and coding, deserve all admiration. So I congratulate AIIMS for all these achievements, and I once again assert that the feedback from the poor patients who are coming from the rural areas, who are not very educated, who are being taken care of by the patient care coordinators in the hospital, and also the senior citizens, their feedback must be regularly taken so as to improve the services, the efficacy of the services which are being provided to them, because this is the section which is most vulnerable and which faces maximum problems. With this, I'm convinced that the participants will go back immensely enriched in their learning and experience. I wish the event grand success, and I conclude with this. Thank you so much. Jai Hind.
Thank you, ma'am, for the inaugural address. Now I request Shri V. Srinivas, DDA AIIMS, to present a plaque to the chief guest, Srimati Anupriya Patel, Honorable Minister of State in the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, Government of India.
I also request Shri V. Srinivas, DDA AIIMS, to present the plaque to the guest of honor, Shri Divakar Vaish.
I request Dr. Deepak Agarwal, Organizing Secretary, SUTAC 2016, to present a token of appreciation to Shri V. Srinivas, DDA AIIMS.
I also request Dr. Deepak Agarwal to present a token of appreciation to Mr. Jitendra Arora, Director, E-Health and E-Governance. Thank you, sir.
Now I welcome Dr. Sanjeev Boi, Additional MS, Co-Organizing Secretary of SUTAC 2016, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Ashwati, for the kind words. So at the outset, and on behalf of everybody, the family of AIIMS and the team of nurse informatics, as well as the team of computerization and the whole fraternity of AIIMS, I must propose a vote of thanks to the Honorable Minister of State, Government of India, Minister of Health and Family Welfare, Srimati Anupriya Singh Patel ji. So thank you, madam, for sparing time and coming over here and gracing the occasion. I also take this opportunity to thank Sri Diwakar Vaish ji, with his excellent way of, excellent innovations which he has done. Well, I'm sure it will help the country at large, a resource-constrained country like us and the region as well. So it will really benefit a lot of patients. And being a MS of AIIMS Trauma Center, I'm noting down many things when you actually spoke about the hand, prosthetics, and many other things we can collaborate and work ahead. So I can promise you that from as a person. I also thank Sri Ditendra Arora ji for for gracing the occasion and also saying various initiatives which Government of India has taken under the project of Digital India project, which is a dream of our Prime Minister. And it is really heartening to see in very few years we have made a stride across the country, including healthcare and Ministry of Health, as well as the e-governance should be applauded for their brilliant work which is they're spreading across the country. So thank you for that, sir, and for coming, and you really enlightened us many new projects which we can work out and work with you from AIIMS Trauma Center and various platforms of our healthcare. Then I really appreciate the dynamism of our own beloved DDS Saab, V. Srinivas ji, for actually taking leadership in actually getting things done against all odds, as he rightly put it out, because I am seeing him from other side of the fence and seeing how he has made things possible over last 3-4 years of digitization of AIIMS, making it more conducive environment for the other experts to work on in providing in a fast pace. So I thank and from our bottom of our heart to our dynamic DDS Saab, V. Srinivas ji. And now it is important for me to not to miss people who are really, are the backbone of this meeting, especially, and all the meeting comes to a successful if you have a good leadership, good leadership in the phase, vision of Dr. Deepak Agarwal and his team, and especially the supports for such meeting. You also require sponsors. Especially we thank various agencies. It is my duty to thank Indian Council of Medical Research, Medical Council of India, which really supported this program, by sponsoring the program. Cisco, Schillers, D-Link, CXB, Sansi Informatics, Heaven Systems, PNB, the Punjab National Bank, Raster Images, for supporting this program wholeheartedly and making it a success. So with this, I once again, thank all of the dignitaries on the dais and off the dais, and also thanks such a large audience, which is a quality audience for this meeting. I thank you, all of you, for this program. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. I thank all the dignitaries for gracing this function with the esteem present. SUTEC 2016 is officially open. Hope all delegates will have a good academic feast in coming days. I welcome Dr. Deepak Agarwal, Chairman Computerization AIIMS and Organizing Secretary SUTEC 2016, to welcome Professor M.C. Mishra, Director, AIMS.
Good morning, delegates, and welcome to SUTEC 2016. This is the 6th edition of our conference, and it is getting better and bigger by the year. We have already had 2 pre-conference workshops. One is research ethics and publication, and the other is the ultrasound workshop, which has been very well attended. And today we'll be having the personality development workshop, followed by the SNOMED City workshop. So I welcome all SNOMED City delegates also, and we'll be holding both the workshops for them simultaneously so they can benefit from these 2 events. As our inauguration is scheduled for 11 a.m. and Professor Mishra, our director, has to leave, I would request him to please come on stage and give his address. But before that, I would like to acknowledge that because of his efforts, we have been able to come this far in terms of computerization and IT, both at Trauma Center and at AIMS. And it is his vision and leadership which has helped us to implement so many new, I would say, IT technologies as well as process changes. And the results are there for everyone to see. So I request Professor Mishra to please come up and address the gathering.
चलिए हमारी आईटी टीम के लिए ज़रा ज़ोर से तालियां बजाएं और I welcome you all. Thank you, Dr. Deepak Agarwal. I think as he mentioned that this is the 6th conference of cost-effective use of information technology in e-health or what we call digitization of medical facilities, healthcare infrastructures. And when we started at Trauma Center, we did not realize that what dimension it is going to take in coming years, although we should have actually. But with our modest beginning at Trauma Center, with the concept of a nursing informatics specialist and in-house implementation of Vista system software, which is open access available, we could achieve digitization of Trauma Center with extremely low cost. And that encouraged us that why not to replicate it in rest of the centers and AIMS after that. And since little less than 3 years ago when I took over as director, we then started, Dr. Deepak started developing the concept here, and now you see what kind of a OPD transformation we have been able to do, but that is only very small part of the whole digitization of the institution. And we are now in the process of implementing ERP and SAP so that all areas in healthcare, whether they are human resource, whether they are academic, whether they are research, library, patient care, of course, obviously. So our objective to begin with was that if we can make the experience of our patients coming to these hospitals more friendly and less frustrating by introducing online registration system, which is now in place. And actually people can take, and they are taking almost 3.5 million patients have taken advantage of this. We have also kept a margin for those who cannot take online appointment system, and they can come here and take appointment. And this culture of taking appointment in India needs to grow because that helps the doctors, the nurses, and also the patient. Otherwise, what happens that there is the OPDs are overcrowded, and neither the patient is satisfied at the end nor the doctors are satisfied. So there is a long way to go, but I think we are on it. and we'll see that the whole electronic medical records are in place. SNOMED CT, which you will be discussing during the course of this conference, also gets implemented, and every doctor gets a tablet in OPD. So what we want to make it absolutely paperless, and that also helps us in accountability, transparency. So these are the things which I think every citizen wants. We all want when we are the user, and we must do everything possible to make this happen. Sometimes our young doctors and nurses don't realize when they come up that I will not do barcode printing, I will not do this. I think this is very, very small mindset which leads to this, because once you realize that all this is basically going to facilitate your functioning at the wherever you are working. And we have come a long way. In institute, I would say that we were much ahead 30 years ago, but then things did not happen. So now I would request, I would plead, and I would encourage all of you to cooperate with the administration in implementing the digitization process, and at the end all of us would be beneficiary of this digitization process. Simultaneously, I think Dr. Deepak and Dr. Bhui has also developed this personality development communication, which is so crucial today, and presentation skills. It's extremely important, because when we see majority of the complaints when we receive, although they are not too many, but whatever once a while we receive complaints from a patient who comes to OPD, it's not about the treatment, wrong treatment he has got it. It is because of somebody did not talk to that patient properly. So it's the communication, and with a smile, if you do that, patients are generally very happy. Patients generally understand your limitations also, but I think this is minimum which we can do, that properly we communicate with the patient. So I basically say, if you have a proper communication skills, you have compassion, automatically you build trust with the patient and your colleagues also. So I think with that I would congratulate the Information Technology Section Division of All India Institute under the leadership which is provided by Dr. Deepak Agrawal, and now the computer facility is headed by Professor Suresh Sharma, the head of ENT. This is what we are envisioning, we would like to achieve sooner than later. And it needs participation, cooperation from each one of you, and it is going to benefit each one of you. When I was walking down here, I think everybody had a smartphone in their hand, and they were all looking through their smartphones. So I think that is the penetration of a smartphone, so it should be fully utilized. Now, as you would understand that very hardly we go to the bank these days, we do our most of the transactions sitting at home. The same thing, if that can be done, online registration for consulting in OPD, follow-up, if we can use effectively the email, the messages, messaging, short messaging, WhatsApp, today you can, even larger files you can transmit on WhatsApp very quickly. So far it is available free. There is no, so I think we should try and use the modern technology to our advantage. And I encourage most of my patients or somebody who wants to meet me, I said, why don't you send an email? And I can immediately forward it to the concerned person, and we will take action accordingly. So I think all of you can do that, so that your time is saved to do more useful things, more thinking, creativity. That is what is needed. So I think sky is the limit, and you have to raise your bar yourself, for the institution. And if the institution grow, you grow. If you grow, the institution grows. So I work with that philosophy. Patient, since we are a large hospital center, patient-centric institution, so I think patient should always be at the center and see what we all can do to make his experience at this hospital more friendly, more pleasant. They already have a problem with which they come. So we should not do something which makes their experience sad. And we hear that nobody talked to me. We may not be able to help everyone. There are limitations in the system. We have limited number of beds. We have limited number of operating time. There is, if there are 100 patients with brain tumor, naturally all cannot be operated in one single day. One will be operated today, the other will be operated 3 months later. So that is very understandable. But at the same time, communication with the patient is the key to make them understand. If we are not able to help them immediately, we should be able to tell them why it is not possible, and they can look for alternatives. So with that, I really appreciate, I congratulate. I'm sorry that I'll miss this year, otherwise in all other conferences I was involved. This commitment which I had made 6 months ago or maybe more, because I had to go last year, I regretted. There is an institution in Dharan, Nepal, which has been established by Government of India, and AIIMS was helping them bringing up this institution. I think many of our faculty colleagues have been to that institution. So they have their institute day and convocation. So that is tomorrow, and that is the reason I have to travel. So I would really seek your indulgence to pardon me for not being there all 3 days. And I am sure whatever discussions, presentations take place in this conference and the workshop, you already had 2 workshops, just pre-congress workshop, and were very useful. And now this personality development, communication and presentation skills, which are so important to all of us. So I'll leave it at that, and request both Dr. Bhui and Dr. Deepak, Matilda, and all the team, and congratulate them, compliment them for working so hard to bring Institute as #1 in the e-hospital implementation, digitization, and so many things we have done first. So thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for gracing this occasion with your presence. We'll move on to the sessions of SUTEC 2016. We'll start with a workshop on personality development, communication, and presentation skills. I invite Dr. Deepak Agarwal. All the audience are requested to come forward. Please take the front rows.
The genesis of this workshop actually happened around 4 years back. We had a lady by the name of Mary Knightley. She is she's a consultant, a trainer to all the major CEOs of major industries based in London. And she was called here at the request of our director, Professor Mishra, to give a one-day workshop for doctors as leaders. So, this workshop I was fortunate to attend, and in which she talked about a lot of things, basically how to communicate, how to have vision, and how to improve yourself. Okay. And then we had a discussion with the director, sir, and he said that it is a very nice kind of a workshop. Why don't we indigenize it? क्यों ना हम उसको ऐसा करें जिसके बाकी लोगों को भी एम्स में फ़ायदा हो. And that is why we made it in such a format that it could be understood by other people, because it was a purely English workshop, and there was a test in it which is the key, and that test had to be interpreted in a very specific way. So, we have indigenized that and we will be putting it across to all of you. What we have done is divided this workshop into four parts or 3 parts. The first part is communication skills. Communication skill and presentation skills. So, when I talk about communication and presentation, it is how you communicate with anyone. It could be with your parents, your children, your spouse, and in your workplace, your colleagues, seniors, juniors, and to the public, like I am doing out here. So, communication is something which is very important. It doesn't make a difference what you are, whether you are a nurse, doctor, technician, anything, it doesn't make a difference. You should be knowing how to communicate confidently and effortlessly. And for that, we will have a very brief session by an expert, in-house expert, Dr. Bhoi, who will be taking this over 1 hour. Then we'll have the inauguration in between, so that there is seamless, nobody wastes any time. Inauguration hopefully will happen over half an hour to 45 minutes, and we'll continue this workshop. Well, then I will take the talk on the personality development and how we can benefit from it. Okay. So, I think it is a very, very useful workshop. From whatever feedback we have received over the last 4 years, we have done over 50 workshops, and it has been very, very useful to whoever has attended it. And in the afternoon, we will have the SNOMED workshop, for which a lot of us have come here, in which we will showcase SNOMED, and the inauguration ceremony is also where we inaugurate SNOMED CT integration with our EDET note. So, I have just told you the whole day's program. You already have, I would request again all of you, please download the Android app where you can give feedback and have a lot of polling questions and lot of stuff which is there, which will make this conference much more interesting. And to start straight away, it's exact 10 o'clock now. So, I request Dr. Sanjeev